Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a Friday night edition of Trailblazer Volleyball. I'm your play-by-play guy, James Guerin, as always, for every single one of your Trailblazer home volleyball games. Tonight, we have a matchup between your very own Dixie State University going up against Western Colorado Mountaineers, who come into tonight's matchup with an 8-11 record overall and 4-7 in RMAC play. And as for Dixie State, they come in with a 13-6 record and 8-3 in the RMAC, which is good for fourth right now. So there is some work to be done in conference play. However, their main focus tonight is the Mountaineers on the opposing side. The main player for the Mountaineers to keep an eye out on is Jordan Todd, number 10. She comes into tonight's matchup with a point total of 232 points. That's good for just above 3 points per set and leading the team by a lot. The next one is Emily Skates. She comes in with 193 points scored on the season. And as for Dixie State, the leader on the offensive side is Meg Trainer, coming in with 194 points, and Toa Faleo right behind her with 189.5 points. And then the All-American Lauren Gamble in third, right behind her with 185. So Dixie State can attack you from all different sides and not just focus on one primary player. And I think that's what makes them so dangerous for other schools to try and game plan against, because it's not just one player you have to focus on. If you're the Mountaineers, it's 3, 4, sometimes maybe even 5 different players. And we've seen Cy Collins the last couple of games get a lot of work due to the absence of Lizzie Clark, and Cy Collins has made her name known. She's only started in 4 games so far this season, but she is 6th on the team in scoring. So that says a lot about her efficiency from the outside hitter position. As for the Mountaineers, they are towards the bottom of the RMAC conference with a 4-7 record in the RMAC. That is 6th to the bottom in terms of that. And Dixie State, like I said, tied or in 4th, and with the win today, they could move all the way into 3rd place. So it'll be very interesting to see how Dixie State approaches this one, as they can't take this team too lightly. Last weekend, they did split the weekend series. They did lose the first one at MSU Denver. And then on Saturday against Chadron State, they turned it around and won it in 4 sets. So even series on the weekend, last weekend. And I'm looking at the schedule right now. There's only 4 home games left for Dixie State for the remainder of the season. I mean, I can't even believe we're already at that point in the season, but there's 4 left today, tomorrow, and then next week, Friday and Saturday, and next week, Saturday, will be senior night that will be against Pueblo, another top dog in the RMAC conference. And your starters for the Mountaineers: number 9, Hannah Hendrickson. Number 10, Jordan Todd, the leading scorer on this team. Keep an eye out for her. Kirsten Kampanik also getting the start. Maddie Johnson getting the nod for the Mountaineers. Kyla Gerson and Brianna Hardy, the final starter for the Mountaineers. And they are head coached by Jessica Fye. And the starters for your home squad, the Trailblazers. And of course, always starting that off is number 1, Jordan Nelson, who has had an unbelievable season so far from the assist position. Number 6, lefty Lauren Gamble, the All-American, getting the nod tonight. Sydney Johnson also getting the start tonight. Miranda Ekblad also getting the starting nod, and she has made drastic improvements this year coming from last year. And I'm sure Coach Felder is ecstatic to have her on her squad. Number 10, McKenna Nelson, also getting the start, the libero. Number 13, Meg Trainer. and number 19, Toa Faleo. And we're going to be calling her name a lot tonight. And I'm looking at the rosters for both sides, and Dixie State has quite a height advantage. The Mountaineers only coming in with 3 players standing over 6 feet tall. And of course, everyone from Dixie State knows the height on their side. You got Lauren Gamble, who's 6'2". You got Toa Faleo, who's 6'1". You have Meg Trainer, who is listed at 6'1". I mean, you got some height on Dixie State's side, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of those close and quick attacks here early on. Instead of going for the 3 hits, just setting them right off the bat in the front row hit and catch them off guard. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of those tonight from Dixie State's side. Just moments away here from the start of the first serve here in this potential 3-5 set series. And Dixie State looking for that hot start. And we saw the last time they were here, that was 2 weeks ago. They kind of got off to that slow start, but then finished strong. And it always goes back to that old saying, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. But I'm sure Dixie State would love to be leading right off the bat instead of having to find themselves fighting to get back on top. And just moments away, Kyla Gerson. A very young team for the Mountaineer side. They have 7 freshmen on the roster. And right away, that's Toa Faleo right off the bat. And there's that quick attack that I was just mentioning. No need to go for the back hit or the back row hit. Just set up your big man up front and see what can happen. And there's Faleo and a low serve, so a free point for Dixie State, or excuse me, for Western Colorado. And here's Lyria Brooke. Nelson setting up Johnson on the outside, and Johnson. The front wall was there for the Mountaineers, but Johnson just too much power and too much force. Mountaineers with a golden chance right here, and that one way out of play. I believe that came off the hands of Maddie Johnson. And Johnson listed at 6'2", but she looks like she could be even taller than that. It's going to find Johnson again. Front wall's there. And backdoor to Trainer. And the Mountaineers nearly keep it alive. And Trainer comes through with the kill. Here's Nelson. And that serve in right over the head of Gerson. And maybe someone from the Mountaineer side called it out, but that one tipped in front of that back line. Gerson handles it this time. And that one coming off the hands of Todd. And Todd misfires, and we have an early timeout here. 6-1, Dixie State leads so far here in the first set. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be right back. And fresh out of the timeout we are. Dixie State currently leading 6-1 here in the first set, and everything has been going their way so far, and which caused the quick timeout from Coach Phi. Not happy with what she has to see so far. And out of the timeout we are. First attack is blocked, but another chance right here for the Mountaineers. And Nelson handles it nicely, and quick attack from Ekblad, and Ekblad finds inside of the line. And keeping the momentum on their side after that timeout. Nelson again. And good recovery, and Trainer just has to hit it over nicely. Nelson backdoor to Trainer. Trainer! And I believe that was off the hands of Todd. And out of play. You know, it's interesting. I'm looking at Jordan Todd right now. She's listed at 5'8", but she comes in as the leading scorer for the Mountaineers. Eager to see how that plays out in her hit off the net. And here's another chance for her, and blocked at the line. And I believe it was Trainer, assisted by Ekblad on the play. And you got 5'8" going up against 6'1" and 6'1". So favorable matchup for Dixie State. Gonna find Todd on the outside, blocked it, but out of play. That was off the hands of Trainer. And Todd getting her first kill of the night. So 9-2 here in the first set. And back door to Faleo. And dangerous chance right here, but Dixie State keeps it alive. Trainer nearly runs into the net. And a back and forth rally we are. Ekblad right in the middle, and Ekblad comes through for Dixie State after that nice rally from both sides, and Coach Felder's loving it early. Substitutions for both sides. Cy Collins checks in for the Trailblazers. And Miles Hilbert checks in for the Mountaineers. And it's going to find Todd again, and Todd this time is denied. As that one could have been returned off the ricochet, but instead just goes into the student section. And it is all Dixie State here so far early. Here's Trainer. And Trainer just missing the line. That looked like it could have gone either way. And they call it a point for the Mountaineers. Here's Hendrickson. He's going to set up Ekblad with a bending run, and that was off the hands of Hendrickson. So Ekblad showing the muscle behind her hits as well. And just so many different ways the Trailblazers can come at you from. And Todd's hit out of play. She was just trying to place that one in that back corner, but misfired. Mountaineers right here, bending run. Johnson's right there. Dangerous chance here, and it falls for Johnson. As the Mountaineers didn't know who was going to pick it up, and it just kind of fell right in the middle of the circle for them. So a timeout here for the Mountaineers, and Dixie State running away here in this first set, 14-3. We're going to keep it here. But Dixie State doing everything right, hitting the balls exactly where they need to be. And the Mountaineers, just too many mental mistakes here early on. I mean, they have 16 total attacks with 5 errors. And that's good for minus 250 hitting percentage, so not a good start for them at all. And as for Dixie State, I mentioned they need to get off to that hot start. Well, here it is, up 14-3. And it is all smiles on that Trailblazers sideline. I don't think one person over there is unhappy, and why would they be? Starting off the game strong after coming off a split weekend on the road. In Nebraska, it was snowing when they were out there. Now they get to come back to somewhat warm weather. I mean, it's in the 60s, so it's not ideally warm, but it's warmer than it was in Nebraska. So I'm sure Dixie State is just glad to be home. And Faleo coming through from that poor dig from the Mountaineers. And Johnson again, the low serve. And the Mountaineers are able to recover. Todd's hit. And backdoor, and they're going to call a set error on Trainer. And You can just tell Trainer wasn't thrilled with the call. Or maybe she knew. So 15-4 here, and Todd is now serving. And blocked initially, but another chance here. Trainer's gonna find Collins on the outside, tipped again, another chance right here. And that one coming off the hands of Kompanick. And a sub for the Trailblazers for the first time tonight is Sierra Roberts. So here's Ekblad. And Ferris is right there and head off the ceiling and kind of threw everybody else off guard. So no problem there. Nelson checks back in. Here's Hilbert. And backdoor to Collins, and Collins somehow sneaks that one up there. When she takes off, when she takes flight, it's insane how long she stays up there for. It was about a good solid 2.5 seconds before she touched the ground again, but she has got some hops. So Mountaineers a chance right here. And a good dig from Jordan Nelson. And Faleo's hit out of play. And they're going to say it was tipped. Coach Felder not thrilled with the call, but hey, you're up by 11, so she's not arguing too much. Looks like we got the baseball team coming tonight too. Football on the road. And that one, I believe, came off of Gamble. So 18-6 here. And here's Faleo. And it's going to be a serving ace for Faleo as the Mountaineers couldn't return it. The first ace of the night. And it looks like we have some substitution problems, and no, we don't. We're all good to go. Here's Faleo. Gonna finish with Kompanick, and her hit is out of play, just missing the line, and a good call from the Trailblazers side. They all called it out and are awarded with the point. Faleo again, a laser serve. Quick attack, and it's blocked, popped up, and not able to return it. That front wall has been something else today so far for Dixie State. Up 21-6. And that serve lasered again and all the way beyond the line. So Hannah Waddell checks in for Dixie State, and Lyria Brook for the Mountaineers. And here's Brook. And Gamble comes flying in. Good dig, good set, good hit. 3 checks and a score, as that one was beautifully drawn up, but we've seen that many of times from Gamble in the middle. And the Mountaineers with a scary moment right there. And Trainer misfires as that one was low of the net, and she knows it. there's Johnson with the serve. And backdoor to Trainer, and Trainer fires it and nearly hits me up top. Someone had some power behind that one. And Collins and Roberts check in. Here's Roberts. Serve had some spin on it, but handled nicely. Another chance right here. And set up Ekblad, and Ekblad just outside the lines. And here's Hendrickson now. And that serve low, bouncing over the net. And nothing you can really do about that, but a serving ace for Hendrickson. And they're going to call a net violation. Roberts touched the net, so back-to-back miscues on Dixie State's side. Johnson over to Roberts, and it's the setup with Johnson, and Johnson hits that one out beyond the line. So 3 in a row now that the Mountaineers have been able to take advantage of. And Collins gets way up there, and Collins is going to get the kill. Mountaineers are unable to return it. And just like that, we are at game point here in the first set. And here's Johnson. And that one is fired in. I believe that was off of Hardy. No, it was by Todd. Todd with the kill and keeps her team alive for the moment. Collins, big swing, and misfires again. So a 10-point lead now. We're at game point. And that serve low, so a serving ace for Todd. It's going to finish with Faleo, and Faleo, no power there. And Dixie State recovering from that net and still keeping it alive. Dangerous chance here, blocked at the net. And the Mountaineers making the Trailblazers work for it. And big swing from Faleo, and Faleo delivers. And that is going to conclude the first set. 25-15. Dixie State takes the first set. And we will take a short break. We'll be back moments before the start of set number 2 with some stats and analysis. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Trailblazer Volleyball. Welcome back inside the Student Activity Center, where Dixie State just took the first set against the Mountaineers of Western Colorado, 25-15, and they're holding on to a 1-0 lead. I'm your play-by-play guy, James Guerin, here with you for every single Trailblazer home volleyball game. I think we got to make an attempt for me to go on the road somehow too. That'd be a lot of fun. But I know if you're in the top 4 of the conference, once the regular season is over, you do get to host at least one home game, which is what happened last year. But if Dixie State can somehow win the conference and come in that top spot, then the RMAC tournament will be here in the Student Activity Center. But they have about 6 games left in the regular season to try and move up as high as they can. They do have a tough opponent here tomorrow night. We'll get to that later in the broadcast. But your leading scorers so far for Dixie State, it's between 2 players. It's Miranda Ekblad and Toa Faleo. They both have 4 points so far. And for Western Colorado, Jordan Todd with 3 points so far. Not a strong showing for the Mountaineers as they are still in the negatives in hitting percentage. They were just able to get a lot of points off of errors from Dixie State. They had 8 attack errors from 5 attack errors from Dixie State in that first set, along with 3 service errors. So 8 total errors that were awarded to the Mountaineers. And without that, we'd be talking about how much of a blowout that first set would have been, but there's only a 10-point finish. And ready to start set 2. Here we go. Dixie State golden chance right here to capitalize. And they're going to say it was a block error, I believe. About a point for Dixie State. And it was a block error. Nelson's right there, perfectly dug. And Faleo switching sides and sneaking that one inside. No power needed as she found the open space in the defense and came through. So here's Nelson. Bending run. It's going to finish with Faleo. Faleo comes through with the finesse hit once again. Doesn't need the power, as that one was dangerously close to the line. And quick attack from Gamble, and Gamble fires it. So 4-0 here in the second set. Dixie State leading off right where they left off. And nearly an ace, but the Mountaineers are able to return it. Gamble flying in again, and that was hit right in the direction of Hendrickson. And Dixie State doing everything right here so far tonight from both sets. It's a low serve, dangerous chance, and Faleo recovers and throws the hammer down, and we have a timeout from Coach Phi, down 6-0. And we're going to take a little quick break as well. Don't go anywhere. Trailblazer Volleyball continues. And welcome back to the Student Activities Center, where we have a 6-0 score to start off the second set. And Dixie State doing everything right. You know, usually I have a little critique, but they haven't given me anything to work with so far. But for the Mountaineers, I think the main thing for them is to just start talking, you know, communication. I mean, you see all the successful teams in all the sports, you know, whether it's football, basketball, or baseball, they talk. They're constantly talking. And right there, they just talked, and watch that serve go out beyond the line. And swing from Trainer, and Trainer was trying to get the spin on it to get that one to dip, but instead that one sails, so 2 straight errors now. Gamble comes flying in, and this one's going to come off of the ceiling. and comes racing back down. And a serving ace from Faleo, and that one kind of looked like a knuckler. That one just kind of wobbled over the net and just fell. And good talk from the Dixie State side as they watch that one come off of skates. And she misfires. Here's Faleo. And blocked at the net, and that one is stuffed. I mean, just a month away from Thanksgiving now, I think it's easy to say that stuffing came early this year. Faleo again. That one blocked again. And that's Trainer and Gamble right there to make the stop. And good luck trying to hit it over those front two. 6-1 and 6-2 each. Faleo delivers, and Faleo with another serving ace and another timeout for Coach Phi and the Mountaineers, down by 10. We're going to keep it here, and I think it's pretty easy to analyze that the Mountaineers are just making too many mistakes. Too many mental mistakes, whether it's not being able to return a serve, calling out, hits that are in play, and it just almost seems like they're not in it right now. And it's not a far travel from Gunnison, but maybe they didn't get the right sleep. I don't know, but this is almost getting out of hand, and Dixie State showing no mercy as they are just running away with this one. I wouldn't be surprised if in the third set, if Dixie State comes away with the victory, if they go into that third set with a 2-0 lead, I wouldn't be surprised to see some new faces and to get that experience. Up 12-2 here in the second set, and it's looking a lot like how it was in the first set. So here's Faleo. Big swing, and that is blocked again. And I believe it was Gamble who got the hand on it, but timed that one perfectly. And Faleo getting some work at the serving side. And that one is blocked again, but this time it goes out of play. So still a 10-point lead. Gamble lightly hits it over. So another chance here for the Mountaineers. And that hit was out from the start, and that was off the hands of Kampanik. And McKenna Nelson now. And lightly hit diving effort. So Dixie State able to return this one. And that one coming off of Sid Johnson and out of play. So there's Ruprecht, the server. And Johnson, big swing off the net. And golden chance here as Faleo comes flying in and is short of the net. And it just looks like they're trying to work out some new, I guess, plays, if you want to call it. And having fun with it. They find backdoor to Trainer, and Trainer misfires as that one hit the side official. Looked like it was just outside the line. And Johnson, left-handed hit, and Johnson comes through. And we've seen her do that numerous amount of times this season, where she's setting up for the right hand and just has to kind of punch. I would call it a jab, kind of just jabs that hand out there with the left hand and just comes through. Blocked at the line, but no problem as Mangone comes through for the Mountaineers. Mangone, excuse me. So there's Brooke. And it's going to set up Faleo. Backdoor to Collins, big swing. Trainer's right there to pick it up. Backdoor to Johnson, off the line, and Johnson comes through. 16-7 here in the second set. Johnson with a big windup. He's going to set up Faleo. Blocked, so another chance here for the Mountaineers. And just did not get the right hand on it as that one was short of the net. And the coaches for Western Colorado not happy at all with the performance tonight. So the Mountaineers keep it alive, and they are going to give Dixie State a point, as it looked like it was going out of play and then saved it. And a point for the Mountaineers as that serve just goes out of play. Quick attack. And that one hit the roof, the ceiling, and came down and threw the Mountaineers off guard. So Dixie State will take it up by 11. And here's Ekblad. Todd is blocked initially, so another chance right here. Todd again, and Todd comes through. And two substitutions. Hannah Pethtel. And Gamble right in the middle. Placed on that one perfect. Right in the middle of the defense. Here's Nelson. And that hit low from Brooke. And backdoor bending run and denied. And that was Hardy who got a hand on it. So 22-9, here's Nelson. And that was denied. I don't think it got high enough over the net. So Dixie State again running away here. And Nelson looking to finish it off. It's going to find Faleo, who hits that one nicely. Another chance here for Dixie State. It's going to set up Trainer. Trainer fires it in there. And just like that, at game point here in the second set. Here's Nelson. And that one's going to find the inside of the line, and a serving ace is going to end the second set 25-9. And everything in favor of Dixie State. All the momentum on their side going into the break. And with a 2-0 series lead. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, more stats and analysis before the start of the third set. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Dixie State University Trailblazer Volleyball. And welcome back inside the Student Activities Center. Dixie State currently holds on to a 2-0 lead over the Mountaineers of Western Colorado. It has been all Dixie State here so far. 25-15 was the score of the first set, and 25-9 was the score of the set you just watched. And it has been all Dixie State. The errors have just been piling up for the Mountaineers, and you can see it from their head coach's face that she is not thrilled with this performance at all. And Dixie State capitalizing on all the errors that the Mountaineers are committing, and Dixie State not letting off the gas pedal as they continue to run away here. And leading scorer for the Trailblazers after 2 sets is Toa Faleo with 9.5 points. And for Western Colorado, of course, Jordan Todd leading the way with just 4 points so far through the first 2 sets. And as a team, the Mountaineers are still hitting in the negatives. They're almost at minus 20%, negative 20% hitting percentage. So they've been committing more errors than they have kills. And Dixie State has outperformed them in that department with 26 kills compared to 6 for the Mountaineers. And they have the same amount of attacks. Well, 51 for the Mountaineers, 50 for the Trailblazers. But 23 assists from Dixie State. And I think I have a pretty good feeling on who would be leading that category, and it's Jordan Nelson. She has 16 of those. And ready to resume play. We'll find Gamble, who comes flying in, and Gamble thought it was tipped. All the referees said nope, it was hit out of play. So this time the Mountaineers strike first on the board. And Trainer comes flying in and hits that one way out beyond the line. So here's Todd. And Todd serves short of the net, so a free point for Dixie State. And here's Faleo. And outside, and that one is stuffed. And Trainer and Gamble there on the block. The crowd just loves it whenever there's a block. I think they come to the games just so that they can see the block party here, and no communication between the Mountaineers, and that one off the hands of Mangone. And off the arm of Faleo. And another point for the Mountaineers, as this set a little bit different from the first two. Currently on top. And a serving ace for Hilbert. So 5-3 now here in the third set. So he's going to set up Trainer, and Trainer throws it down, and no problem, as she gets a point for her team. And can they keep it alive? They can. Another chance here for the Mountaineers. And Johnson just tried to stick a foot out there to try and pop it up. And unsuccessful. So 6-4 here in the third set. And Trainer once again shows off that cannon of hers. And the Mountaineers just not quick enough to get a hand on it and return it. So teammates nearly colliding with each other, as no communication once again. And that's been sort of the issue so far for the Mountaineers, is no one's talking, no one really knows what's going on, and it's causing a lot of errors on their side. Blocked at the line, another chance here. Find Faleo from the back row. Quick attack and good recovery from Dixie State. So we find Mangone, and Mangone is going to come through as that block goes out of play. So here is Brooke now. And that serve, man, did that have a lot of movement on it. Dixie State not ready for it. And an ace for Brooke. Brooke again. It's going to finish with Faleo. Nelson popping it up, so another chance, and Faleo's attack is low. So 9-6 here in the third set. Mountaineers up on top. And Ekblad having to just fingertip that one over. And rolling off the net, and back and forth we go. Gonna set up Collins, and Collins, quick recovery there. Todd with a big swing, and they're gonna call a tip. A tip at the line, and Todd comes through for the Mountaineers, and Trainer saying what number tipped it. And not thrilled with the call, but it stands, so Mountaineers will get the point. And Brooke getting some work here. And another ace for Brooke, and Coach Felder takes her first timeout of the night, down by 5, and we're going to take one as well. Don't go anywhere. This one could get good. You're watching Trailblazer Volleyball. 11-6 the score here. The Mountaineers out in front in a completely sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Completely different stories from the first two sets into this one. And Dixie State now with a little bit of mental errors here in this third set, but Coach Felder always says the right things during the break. And two diving Trailblazers go for it. They're okay, but they both lay out for that one. Now it looks like the women's basketball team now is in the house, so two teams now in the house supporting tonight. And a point for Dixie State to bring it back within 5. That serve from Johnson. And Todd, big swing, and that one is blocked at the line. It looks like Collins was the one there. And it's amazing how she's only listed at 5'9", but plays like she's 6'2". They're going to call a setting error on Trainer. So still a 5-point game. It's going to finish with Collins, and Collins denied at the net. So the Mountaineers starting to get a little bit of momentum on their side. And here's Johnson. Gonna find Faleo, and Faleo fires it in there. Oh, it was off the hands of Brooke as that one just screams into the net. And it's gonna fall. Dixie State inching their way back into this one as Gamble comes through. It's going to find opposite side and blocked, but out of play, so Todd will get the kill. Here's Hendrickson now. Faleo from the backside. It's going to finish with Faleo again, and this time they do handle it. Todd. And Collins with the mid-air adjustment. Back and forth we go. Big swing from Gamble. And hits that one. That was good communication between the two of them. Looked like it was going to come back to the outside. Instead, sets up for the quick attack right down the middle. And that one coming off the hands of Johnson and out of play. So Dixie State now within 3. And that serve from Nelson, way out of play, and we don't see that very often. A very consistent server, and that one might have just gotten away. And trying to adjust midair, Gamble comes flying in. Momentum has shifted entirely to the Mountaineer side. And that serve is low from Todd. So a free point for the Trailblazers. Bouncing off the net, and Faleo with an ace. And a timeout for Coach Phi and the Mountaineers, up by 3. And we're going to take a quick timeout as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. (17-14) the score, with Western Colorado up top of Dixie State. Haven't said that much tonight, but Western Colorado looking to get on the board with a set win. But Dixie State is not going to make it easy for them. Down by 6 at one point in the game and have cut that lead in half. And Nelson with a beautiful dig right there. And Trainer off that front wall. And switching sides and out of play. Mangone was the one who got the hand on it. And here's Faleo. And that was, I believe, Skates. Emily Skates, the second leading scorer for the Mountaineers, coming through just now. Lead is back up to 3. And quick attack from Gamble. Mountaineers are able to recover. And that one finds the back corner, and that was Skates once again. There's Hilbert. And that was off the hands of Waddell and went straight up to the ceiling and came flying back down. And Coach Felder with another timeout, down by 5. We're going to keep it here this time. But Dixie State, well, it looked like they were just going to bring out the brooms here early on after taking commanding control in those first 2 sets, especially after set 2, 25-9. It looked like it was just about to be over coming into this third set, and then the Mountaineers all of a sudden have gotten their focus back and are now leading by 5 here in the third set. And momentum, is such a big thing, especially in collegiate sports. You don't really see it too much in the professional side, but collegiate sports especially, momentum and emotion can carry you to a win single-handedly. And we've seen it. I've seen it happen many of times throughout my life where emotion and momentum has the underdog come out with a win. So 20-15 the score. And playing it safe. There's Skates. And Skates comes through once again. So 21-15 now. And a serving ace, as that one was off the hands of Faleo, and Hilbert now getting some work beyond the line. And it's going to finish with Johnson, tipped, and falls. So there's Nelson, low serve. And Skates comes flying in, blocked, and no one's going to be able to recover it. Here's Nelson. And blocked at the net, another chance right here. And that one was hit right at Faleo, and I believe that was off the hands of Mangone. So 23-17 the score. Mountaineers looking to make things interesting. Mangone again, blocked and out of play. So game point here now in the third set. Mountaineers looking to close this set out. And a setting error by Jordan Nelson, and that is going to end the third set. So no brooms here tonight. The Mountaineers take the third set 25-17, and we're going to take a short break before the start of the fourth set. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back inside the Student Activity Center, home of the Trailblazers, and they hold on to a 2-1 lead over the Mountaineers of Western Colorado. And right off the bat, Mangone picks up right where she left off in that third set. And Mangone has been coming through the last couple of points now. And she's got some power behind those hits. This time is blocked, so another chance right here. And that is Johnson who just rainbows it over that front wall. And now we're up 2-0. So Trainer finishing it off. Mountaineers with a chance, blocked at the line again. And finding Faleo far side, and is blocked. And it looked like Maddie Johnson was the one who got the hand on it, or actually it was Skates. It's going to finish with Faleo. And Faleo, they're going to be able to keep it alive, runs into the chairs on her own bench. And the Mountaineers playing with some more fight now as this rally continues to go on. And that hit short coming off of Mangone. And after that nice rally, Dixie State finally on board. And Mangone again short of the net. So back-to-back points now. So find backdoor to Skates, and Skates is denied by that front wall. Looked like it was Gamble who got a hand on it. So here's Faleo. And Trainer rolls on the ceiling and throws everybody off guard. And Dixie State, just like that, 4 straight points and are now back on top. Faleo again. Big swing from Johnson, and that one is going to be deflected out of play. And Dixie State now 5 unanswered points. Skates. Johnson, big swing, and it's going to squeeze in between that front wall and to the ground. Trailblazers now doubling up. Mountaineers 6-3. Mangone having to adjust. Dixie State, Trainer, big swing, and Trainer is going to come through once again, in a timeout for Coach Phi and the Mountaineers. The momentum shifting back towards Dixie State side. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a second. 7-3 your score here in this 4th set. Dixie State leads Western Colorado 2-1. And Dixie State currently on a 7-0 run after finding themselves down 3-0, come roaring back. And a serving ace for Faleo. And she's had a handful of those tonight. It's going to be her 5th one of the night. And count that as number 6. So 2 straight aces for Faleo, and that's her 6th ace of the night. And make that number 7, 3 in a row for Faleo. And she is dialed in right now. And Gamble, quick attack. The Mountaineers cannot recover. And Gamble with the kill. Faleo again, tipped off the net. And it's going to finish with Trainer, big swing, and that was short of the net, so a point for the Mountaineers. So that 11-0 run finally comes to an end. And Dixie State unable to return that one, so another point for the Mountaineers. Gamble comes flying in. And we don't see her do that as much anymore, but when she makes those bending outside runs, she comes through. Zingone is blocked at the line. I believe it was Ekblad who got a hand on it. Dangerous chance right here, and that's Ekblad from the center position coming through off the poor dig, and another timeout for Coach Phi and the Mountaineers. We're going to keep it here. 14-5 your score here in this fourth set, and maybe it was just a speed bump in the middle of the road for Dixie State, but trying to prove everyone here that that third set is just a fluke, no problem, as they're up 14-5 now, looking very similar to that second set earlier tonight, and Dixie State not committing too many errors here in this fourth set. And how's this for Faleo? On the night so far, has 7 aces. 7. And if that's not a career high for her, I don't know what is. But 7 aces so far. So out of the timeout, ready to go. There's Nelson. Big swing from Johnson, and it's a point for Dixie State as that one hit the ceiling and then went over the net. You can play it as long as it doesn't go over the net. And not gonna be able to return it as Hendrickson nearly crashes into her coach on the bench. And Dixie State up by 11 now, back in that double figures column. Back door to Trainer, and Trainer gonna come through as that one bounces off the hands of Todd. So here's Nelson again, and that one short from the start. So 17-6 now, Dixie on top here in the fourth set. And the finish with Johnson tipped at the front. And quick attack from Nelson. And Nelson with the kill. As she just split the entire defense. Nobody in that middle section. And Dixie State running away here in the fourth set. And that one from Todd, and they're going to say it was tipped at the line. And no replay to look at tonight, but I wouldn't look like it was just straight out of bounds, but he has the better look at it than I do, and that serve goes out of play. And Ekblad, quick attack and golden chance here for Dixie State. Flay on the outside and rolls over the net and falls for the Trailblazers. And that serve well on beyond the line. So a free point for them. 20-8 And Faleo. Ferris going all the way back to keep it alive, so a good rally we have here. And inside, Skates finds. Hendrickson. And unable to return it. So a serving ace for Hendrickson. So after the serving ace, the serving error, and another serving ace from Ekblad. Outside over to Collins, blocked. Another chance here. And swinging it over to Faleo. And that one not going over. So just doubled up now. Low serve. And Gamble nearly coming through. They're going to play it off the net, and no dice. Here's Nelson. Blocked. Another chance here. Going to find Gamble in the middle, and they get to play it. Dangerous chance here. And reaching all the way back for it is Nelson. And they're going to call it in, even though it looked like it was out for just, it looked like it was hit out. It was right in front of the bench for Western Colorado. And we are at game point here. Skates with a big swing and a miss as she gets blocked at the net. And that is going to conclude tonight's series. 3-1. Dixie State coming out with a victory, 25-15, 25-9. Mountaineers took set 3, 25-17, and Dixie State taking this last set, 25-11. With that, Dixie State moves to 14-6 overall on the year and 9-3 in RMAC play. As for the Mountaineers, they fall to 8-12 and 4-8 in the RMAC conference. Player of the game, I think it's pretty easy to pick a player of the game. And I think it's going to go to Toa Faleo. She had 17 points throughout the series with 7 aces and 9 kills. I think it's pretty easy to say that she is our player of the game tonight. Lauren Gamble right behind her with 15 points. For the Mountaineers, the leader was Jordan Ty with 7.5 points, and that includes 6 kills as well. If you couldn't make it out tonight, don't worry. We got one more game tomorrow night, and that will be against Colorado Mesa. And folks, you're going to want to be here for that one. Colorado Mesa is tied with Dixie State, pending on their win tonight for 3rd in the RMAC. So it is going to be a very, very tough matchup for the Lady Trailblazers tomorrow night. You are going to want to be there. So 6 p.m. tomorrow night right here inside the Student Activity Center. But until then, for myself, James Guerin, and everyone else here at CEC, we thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good Friday night, guys. Aloha.